Hello everyone, Simon here. We're playing Jade Empire, the game in which we don't wear pants. And in the last video, Master Lee punched the ship. There's the ship there, he punched it. So let's go talk to some people. I guess now there's more stuff in the town for us to look at and talk to, people to talk to. Let's talk to everyone.
I'm so glad you and Master Lee arrived when you did. My father ran to the school gate to find students to help. Did he make it?
I think...
That is a great relief. We tried our best, but without you and Master Lee, we would have died. Thank you.
No problem.
Hopefully Master Lee can shed some light on what led to this. A sorcerer in our little village? What is wrong with the world?
So now we can start getting... So that's the open palm. We can start getting reputation things. Just purely based on how we talk to people, which is a bit strange. But yeah, okay.
Dawnstar, there you are. I know I haven't spoken to you in a while. I saw him again last night, and I remembered what you said. I wasn't as afraid.
What? Oh, the ghost.
I'm glad, Mrs. Zhang.
He seemed peaceful, if a bit lost. But I know it's not your fault now. I'm sorry for disturbing you and for what I said before.
Okay. Sure. Bye.
Remember Zhang Jin, her son? He drowned last year after the mooring she tied let go. A sad accident. I saw his spirit and told her. She thought I was calling up ghosts. Some spirits return because of trauma, to rectify something that disturbed them in life or death. They are very focused. When the pain is gone, they find rest. At least they are supposed to. Jin's spirit told his mother the accident wasn't her fault. Now he wanders, unconnected to this world and unable to pass to the next. Troubled spirits can be set to rest for a time, but unless the greater problem is corrected, it seems all dead are destined to wander until they go mad. I'm sorry, this has been difficult. I don't want to think about how it affects specific people. I'm still not sure I should have told Mrs. Zhang about her child.
You are right to console her even if she didn't want to hear it. Just walk away, you let her. You're right to console her.
I don't know. People just want to be left alone with their grief.
No.
I guess blame is easier to understand than chance. Come on, we should go see if the students are all right. Master Lee will be waiting.
You should not leave people alone with their grief because you don't know whether they can manage their grief or not, right? It's better to check and for them to get angry at you than to not check and it turns out they can't handle their grief and they do something drastic. You know what I mean? So it's better to, even if they hate you for it, it's better to make sure that they're okay. Anyway, so I was thinking, like this game, it's mostly, you know, because like there's Chinese things, the Chinese themes. If you haven't noticed, there's Chinese themes, and for the most part, it's done fairly well. Like there's no blatant racism, and really the only problem, I keep saying it, the only problem is the clothing, and not the clothing that other people wear. Like if you look at the other clothing, all of that is fine. That looks fine. It's the clothes that we wear, the main characters and the companions. Like nobody ever dressed like this historically. Unless we are prostitutes, basically, and even prostitutes don't dress like this. Like this is some like Western fantasy of exotic Chinese girls wearing skimpy clothing. Like this is not right. Only the clothing, the lack of pants, the lack of actual shirts. But you know everything else is okay. So there you go. I guess if we play the male character, the male characters are a little bit beefcake as well, or cheesecake as well, because like none of them wear shirts. Like the men boycott shirts and the women boycott pants. So it's kind of
It's a good thing we have Master Lee here.
It's awkward for both genders.
Don't forget his senior student. They say she's the one who fought many of those bandits.
Why does he have a massive coin on his chest? What is that necklace? That's crazy. But aside from that, like that clothing is fairly decent. It's pretty good.
Those bandits will think twice before threatening a town protected by the likes of Master Li. They were fools to even come here.
What are you wearing on your neck?
The only shame is that their ship sunk. Think what we could have done with their plunder. Well, that's another opportunity lost.
You don't
In this
want
town, it's vital for a businessman to keep tabs on anyone with 2 coins to rub together. Things haven't been this slow since the long drought. That master of yours keeps things ludicrously stable while merchants thrive on strife. During the long drought, prices rocketed into the sky like fireworks.
There's no trait to be found in stability. You don't like Master Lee's leadership. That's a question.
I can't say that. He's a wise man who sees to the heart of things. If I were to complain about anything, it's how few students he attracts. A skilled master could bring a lot of people into this town, but he is very selective about who comes. That's his business, I'm sure, but it affects my business as well.
You don't want that kind of attention. You really don't. And is his mustache growing out of his nostrils?
I get by. I suppose I shouldn't wish for strife lest it come knocking on my door. Besides, the bandits didn't do as much to bring people to the store as I hoped. So maybe stability is underrated.
You're an idiot.
Happily, we don't need to waste time on my gripes when there's silver to be spent.
What do you have for sale? Ask about the village, ask about the Jade Empire, tell me about yourself. Everybody has a backstory, and we can talk to everyone if we want to.
You'd think the recent attack would have people buying supplies or weapons or something. But alas, business has not improved. Who could be more important than Master Li? He is the anchor of this town, and none question his wisdom.
I
Two
question his
Rivers
wisdom.
has always accepted the masters of your school as leaders, but none have taken to it with the skill, authority, or wisdom of your master.
Okay.
No different from anyone else. If you keep to yourself, no one bothers you. Well, you are always asking questions. That can be tiring.
Oh,
Although I
boo.
do prefer that over Gao's posturing, he is not well liked. But his father has money, so he gets his way.
That thing on his neck, by the way, is basically a giant coin. So a normal size coin is like at most like an inch in diameter. So that thing is like a massive coin on his chest. That's really weird. That's it like I mean it's weird. It's just weird. Who is involved around here? Other questions.
If you wish, what do you want to know?
It's like a weird bling necklace, but it's completely anachronistic.
I've never set my eyes beyond the horizon you can see from here. There must be someone else you could ask. I send my thanks to the spirit for successful journeys just like everyone else. I don't have any special insight.
Right.
Why not ask your friend there? Dawn Star knows more about the spirit realm than anyone, it seems. She's been a great help from time to time.
Cool.
I do what I can to help, good merchant. That's all any of us can do.
Well, we can do harm. But that's also possible.
I grew up during the worst of it, but I don't remember much. Just the joy when the Emperor put an end to it. Two Rivers was almost deserted by that time, but Master Li arrived soon after, and we've had peace ever since. I don't know. That's why the Emperor is the Emperor, and I'm content to be here. I don't need to worry about it. Well, there isn't much to tell. I'm just a simple merchant trying to ply his trade in a town that resists spending money.
Ha, get wrecked.
One day the gods will recognize my suffering and elevate me to their ranks.
Doubt it.
I have nothing at the moment.
Seriously.
I can't keep my stock up. People are scared to travel, which prevents goods from getting here. I must apologize.
You complain about the lack of business, and then you tell me you have nothing for sale?
I do what I can, but the ghosts and bandits limit travel. They viciously force many caravans to turn back. To hear some of the caravan masters talk, there are problems of this type all over the Empire. I will be sure to let you know as soon as anything comes to town. If
Alright, he's got nothing.
do come back when the weight of your silver is slowing you
You
down.
have nothing to sell.
Always happy to help.
You have nothing to sell. Alright, so just a few notes. So, like this sign, that's not real writing. At least, I'm pretty sure that's not real writing. So it's just scribbles, ink scribbles on a piece of paper. And you'll notice it's the same words anyway. So like the signs say different things. Town square, and that says beach. That says to the beach. But they're the same words. So the signs are just gibberish. That's okay. That lantern is probably too ornate. The thing is, the lanterns, they're paper enclosures with torches. I mean, not torches, with the candles inside. Just think about that. It's paper and candles. So lanterns is a significant fire hazard, although they provide light, of course, but they're also a significant fire hazard. And a lantern like that probably wouldn't really work. And I don't even know what that red, like, is that wood or is that metal, the thing holding it up? So that's not really accurate. Or, it's not really practical. You'd want to tie it down both ways so it doesn't swing too much, because like if the wind blows it and it swings too much, then obviously the candle will set the paper on fire and the whole thing will just burn. So that's not cool. That flag has scribbles on it, doesn't say anything in particular. The houses, I think, are actually too small, possibly. Alright, let's look around. And see if there's any more stuff, or any new stuff. Hey people. These are generic people that you can't interact with. Generic people! And I think I already said that these weapons aren't very Chinese. Or some of them aren't very Chinese. Like the maces are a bit weird. The sword, I guess the swords are okay. It's just the hilt and the crossguard is a little too European. The knives, these big knives are good. Not sure about the swords are a little too. So like the proportions are a little off. Anyway.
Good job with those ruffians. Those bandits weren't gentle with this town. I'm going to help out with some of the repairs.
Good for you.
I'm just glad you two got a chance to try those weapons out for real. Looks like they handled themselves well, just like you two.
Can I exchange my... I don't want to exchange my weapon. I want to keep my weapon.
Oh, be fair. I may be the weapon master around here, but it's Master Li who really does the training. I help out, but he's the real reason you two are so good. I used to be a guard in Broken Path, a little town in the western part of the Empire. It was a sleepy place like this, though the residents were miners, not farmers. That whole province is called the Hills of the Six Holy Scrolls for a reason. It's rocky, as rich in minerals as it is in ancient temples. After the body takes enough of a beating, it just doesn't fight as well as it once did. About 10 years ago, something just broke loose. Ghosts stormed out of the hills, dozens of them charging from the west.
Okay.
We tried to fight them, and it worked to some degree. But these ghosts were howling mad. Some of them didn't even look human anymore. Like monsters they were.
Ghosts from the west. Fascinating.
They came from the hills in the west. But beyond that, no one knows. The scary part is that these days I hear more and more stories about ghosts haunting the roads. I wonder if we in Broken Path saw the beginning of whatever is happening now. It's hard to say, but there are an awful lot of rumors about ghosts these days.
Right.
I haven't the whisper of a clue. They simply attacked, all transparent and screaming rage in those hollow voices of theirs.
Spooky.
Ghosts can't die, but they can be... dispersed is the best word. They come back after a while, though. I guess there's no peace for the dead, except to go to the underworld, like most everyone does when they die. We won, but many people joined the ghosts' ranks that day. People were spooked, claiming that the hills were haunted. Soon enough, Broken Path became an empty path. It was deserted. Still sore from the fighting, I made my way south to what I found to be more peaceful lands.
Alright. That sounds kinda terrible.
It's a sleepy little town, usually, and bandit attacks are virtually unheard of. Who wants to rob farmers? Rice isn't worth enough to carry it away. The only real visitor we have is that strange fellow who came in for supplies once or twice. He's just some mad hermit, though. He tries to avoid the village proper. The best thing about this place is Master Li's leadership. It's like the man was born to it.
Strange hermit?
I never caught his name, and he shies away from the village proper, so I think he prefers it that way. His visits are so rare, I'm not surprised you haven't heard of him. Merchant Fendo won't even speak of the man. Just gives him a few basic supplies and lets him go. Oh well, no concern of ours. If a man wants to keep to himself, I say we let him do it.
I'm pretty sure we won't let him do it. Alright, I'm not gonna exchange my weapon.
You're right. There's plenty to do.
Okay. We can't talk to the child. Chickens got young.
Quite a bit of excitement. Yes, bandits can be tricky opponents.
Dude, you didn't do anything.
Of course, that didn't stop Gao the Lesser from beating a few of them senseless. That boy enjoys causing pain. You won't tell anyone about what happened, will you? I couldn't leave my post, you know. I can't keep watch over the students if I'm dead.
Forget it, your shame is your own to deal with. You're worthless, why shouldn't I tell everyone? Nah, whatever.
Right. And I will, while I'm still alive. What do you need? Why do you need to ask? A bandit attack isn't of enough interest? What else would people talk about? Perhaps one of the villagers can accommodate you? I would rather focus on my job.
You mean not doing
Two
the job?
Rivers may be remote and calm, but I still take the task of protecting it seriously.
This guy.
Farewell.
I think there's too much dialogue in the game. I don't know, like, is it better to have dialogue that essentially says nothing useful? Or is it better just to have people not interactable? Like, there's options, but there's options that aren't really fruitful, you know what I mean? And we can't eat the pigs. Let me look, everyone else wears sensible clothes, look at that. Everyone else wears sensible clothes except for us. We're not wearing pants. Alright, so the merchant knows the hermit.
A potential... What?
Ask about the village. Other questions? I don't think we can actually...
One.
Alright, we can't actually ask him about the hermit. Villagers.
I did not know Master Li was so powerful. Why would such a man stay here?
Because he doesn't like to punch ships, you know what I mean?
It is very strange that those bandits tried to attack us. They are not usually so bold.
They're not bandits. Whoa! The grass moves? I mean, it glitched out, but the grass actually moves when you walk on it. It seems unnecessarily complex, but okay.
Hey, boys, look who it is.
Is that the one gal the Lesser's always going on about?
I think so. I say we teach a little lesson about staying in your place when great men like Gao are around.
You three are gonna die. You three are going to die.
Teach this whelp a lesson in manners.
Legendary strike.
I don't know, it's too slow. I move too slow, I feel like. I mean, I did put some skill points into moving faster, but it's not really enough.